12 scouts explore Canaan. The Lord now said to Moses, "Send out men to explore the land of Canaan, the land I am giving to the Israelites. Send out one leader from each of the 12 ancestral tribes." So Moses did as the Lord had commanded him. He sent 12 men and tribal leaders of Israel from their camp in the wilderness of Paran. These are the tribes and names of their leaders. These are the names of the men Moses sent out to explore the land. Moses called Hoshea. These are the names of the men Moses sent out to explore the land. Moses gave the men these instructions as he had sent them out to explore the land. Go north through the Negev into the hill country. See what land is like and find out whether people live there are strong or weak, few or many. See what kind of land they live in. Is it good or bad? Do the towns have walls or are unprotected like open camps? Is the soil fertile or poor? Are there many trees? Do your best to bring back samples of the crops you see. It happens to be the season for harvesting in the first ripe grapes. So they went up and explored the land from the wilderness of Zin as far as Rehob near Lebethanath. Go north, they passed through the Negev and arrived at Hebron, where Ahiman, Sheshai, and Talmai, all descendants of Anak, lived. When they came to the valley of Eshcol, they cut down branches with a single cluster of grapes so large that it took 2 of them to carry it on a pole between them. They also carried back samples of pomegranates and figs. That place was called the Valley of Eshcol because of the cluster of grapes the Israelite men cut there. The scouting report. After returning to the land for 40 days, the men returned to Moses, Aaron, and the whole community of Israel at Kadesh in the wilderness of Paran. They reported to the community that they had seen and showed them the fruit they had taken from the land. This was their report to Moses. We entered the land you sent us to explore, and it is indeed a bountiful country, a land flowing with milk and honey. Here is the kind of fruit it produces. But the people living there are powerful, and their towns are large and fortified. We even saw giants there, the descendants of Anaki. The Amalekites live in the Negev, and the Hittites, Jebusites, and Amorites live in the hill country. The Canaanites live along the Mediterranean Sea along the Jordan River. But Caleb tried to quiet the people as they stood before Moses. "Let's go all at once to the land," he said. "We can certainly conquer it." But the other men who had explored the land with him disagreed. "We can't go up against them. They are stronger than we are." So they spread this bad report about their land among the Israelites. "The land we traveled through and explored will devour anyone who goes to live there. All the people we saw were huge. We even saw giants there, the descendants of Anak. Next to them we felt like grasshoppers, and that's what they thought too." The people rebel. Then the whole community begins weeping aloud, and they cry at night. Their voices rose in the great chorus of protest against Moses and Aaron. "If only we had died in Egypt, or even here in this wilderness," they complained. "Why is the Lord taking us to this country only to have us die in battle? Our wives and our little ones will be carried off as plunder. Wouldn't it be better for us to return to Egypt?" Then they plotted among themselves. "Let's choose a new leader and go back to Egypt." Then Moses and Aaron fell face down on the ground before the whole community of Israel. 2 of the men who had explored the land, Joshua son of Nun and Caleb son of Jephunneh, tore their clothing. They said to all the people of Israel, "The land we traveled through and explored is a wonderful land, and if the Lord is pleased with us, he will bring us to safety into the land and give it to us. It is a rich land flowing with milk and honey. Do not rebel against the Lord, and don't be afraid of the people of the land. They are helpless prey to us. They have no protection, but the Lord is with us. Do not be afraid of them." But the whole community began to talk about stoning Joshua and Caleb. Then the glorious presence of the Lord appeared to all the Israelites at the tabernacle, and the Lord said to Moses, "How long will these people treat me with contempt? Will they never believe me, even after the miraculous signs I have done among them? I will disown them and destroy them with a plague. Then I will make you into a nation greater and mightier than they are." Moses intercedes to the people. But Moses objected. "What will the Egyptians think when they hear about it?" he asked the Lord. "They know full well the power you displayed in rescuing your people from Egypt. Now, if you destroy them, the Egyptians will send a report to the inhabitants of this land who have already heard that you live among your people. They know, Lord, that you have appeared to your people to face to face, and that you are a pillar of the clouds that hover above them. They know that you before them in the pillar of cloud day by night and the pillar of fire by night. Now if you slaughter all these people with a single blow, the nations that have heard of your fame will say, the Lord was not able to bring them into the land he swore not to give them. He swore to give them, so he killed them in the wilderness. Please, Lord, prove your power is as great as you have claimed. For you said, the Lord is slow to anger and filled with unfailing love, forgiving every kind of sin and rebellion, but he does not excuse the guilty. He lays the sins of the parents upon his children. The entire family is unaffected, even the children in the third and the fourth generation. In keeping with your magnificent, unfailing love, please pardon the sins of these people, just as you have forgiven them since they left Egypt. Then the Lord said, I will pardon them as you have requested, but as surely as I live, and as surely as the earth is filled with the Lord's glory, no, not one of these people will ever enter the land. They have all seen my glorious presence and the miraculous signs I performed both in Egypt and in the wilderness. But again and again they have tested me by refusing to listen to my voice. They will never even see the land I swore to give their ancestors. None of those who ever treated me with contempt will ever see it. But the servant Caleb has seen a different attitude than the others have. He has remained loyal to me, so I will bring him into the land he explored. His descendants will possess their full share of the land. Now turn around me and don't go towards the land where the Amalekites and Canaanites live. Tomorrow you must set out to the wilderness in the direction of the Red Sea. The Lord punishes the Israelites. Then the Lord said to Moses and Aaron, how long must I put up this wicked community and its complaints about me? Yes, I have heard the complaints the Israelites are making against me. Now tell me this. As surely as I live, declares the Lord, I will do to you the very things I heard you say. You will all drop dead in the wilderness, because you complained against me. Every one of you who is 20 years or older and was included in the registration will die. You will not enter and occupy the land I swore to give you. The only exception will be Caleb's son, Jephunneh, and Joshua, son of Nun. You said your children would be carried off as plunder. Well, I will bring them safely into the land, and they will enjoy what you have despised. But as for you, you will drop dead in this wilderness, and your children will be like shepherds wandering in the wilderness for 40 years. In this way, they will pay for your faithfulness until the last of you lies dead in the wilderness. Because your men explored the land for 40 days, you must wander in the wilderness for 40 years, a year for each day, suffering the consequences of your sins. Then you will discover what it is like to have me as your enemy. I, the Lord, have spoken. I will certainly do these things to every member of the community who has conspired against me. They will be destroyed here in this wilderness, and here they will die. The 10 men Moses had sent to explore the land, the one who incited rebellion against the Lord with their report, were struck dead with a plague before the Lord. Of the 12 who had explored the land, only Joshua and Caleb remained alive. When Moses reported the Lord's words to all the Israelites, the people were filled with grief. Then they got up early the next morning and went to the top of the range of the hills. Let's go, they said. We realize we have sinned, but now we are ready to enter the land the Lord has promised us. But Moses said, why are you now disobeying the Lord's order to return to the wilderness? It won't work. Do not go up to the land now. You will only be crushed by your enemies because the Lord is not with you. When you face the Amalekites and the Canaanites in battle, you will be slaughtered. The Lord will abandon you because you have abandoned the Lord. But the people defiantly pushed ahead towards the hill country, even though neither Moses nor the ark of the Lord covenants left the camp. Then the Amalekites and the Canaanites who lived in those hills came down and attacked them and chased them as far as Hormah. Laws concerning the offerings. Then the Lord said to Moses, give the following instructions to the people of Israel. When you finally settle in the land I have given you, you will offer special gifts as a pleasing aroma to the Lord. These gifts may take the full form of a burnt offering, a sacrifice to fulfill a vow, a voluntary offering, or an offering of any of your annual festivals, and they may be taken from your herds or cattle, of your flocks of sheep or goat. When you present these offerings, you must give the Lord a grain offering of 2 quarts of choice flour mixed with 1 quart of olive oil. For each lamb offered as a burnt offering or as a special sacrifice, you must also present 1 quart of wine as a liquid offering. If the sacrifice is a ram, give it a grain offering of 4 quarts of choice flour mixed with 1/3 gallon of olive oil, and give a third son a gallon of wine as a liquid offering. This will be a pleasing aroma to the Lord. When you present a young bull as a burnt offering, as a sacrifice to fulfill your vow as a peace offering to the Lord, you must always give a grain of offering with 6 quarts of choice flour mixed with 2 quarts of olive oil, and give 2 quarts of wine as a liquid offering. This will be a special gift, a pleasing aroma to the Lord. Each sacrifice of a bull, ram, or lamb or young goat should be prepared in this way. Follow these instructions with the offering you present. All of the native-born Israelites must follow these instructions when you offer a special gift as pleasing aroma to the Lord. And if the foreigners visit you or live among you and you want to present a special gift as a pleasing aroma to the Lord, they must follow the same procedures. Native-born Israelites and foreigners are equal as the Lord and are subjects to the same decrees. This is a permanent law for you. It is to be observed from generation to generation. The same instructions and regulations will apply to both of you and the foreigners living among you. Then the Lord said to Moses, give the following instructions to the people of Israel. When you arrive in the land where I'm taking you and you eat the crops that grows there, you must set aside as a sacred offering to the Lord. Present a cake from the first of the flour you grind and set it aside as a sacred offering, as you would do with the first grain from a threshing floor. Throughout the generation to come, you are to present a sacred offering to the Lord each year from the first of your ground flour. But suppose you unintentionally fail to carry out all these commands and the Lord has given you through Moses, and suppose your descendants in the future fail to do everything the Lord has commanded through Moses. If the mistake was unintentional and the community was unaware of it, the whole community must present a young bull for a burnt offering as a pleasing aroma to the Lord. It must be offered along with its prescribed grains offering and a liquid offering, and with 1 male goat for a sin offering. But the priest will purify the whole community of Israel, making them right with the Lord, and they will be forgiven, for it was an unintentional sin, and they have corrected it with their offerings to the Lord. The special gift and the sin offering, the whole community of Israel will be forgiven, including the foreigners living among you, for the people were involved in the sin. If one individual commits an unintentional sin, the person must bring a 1-year-old female goat for a sin offering. The priest will sacrifice it to purify the guilt person before the Lord, and the person will be forgiven. These are the same instructions that apply to the native-born Israelites and to the foreigners living among you. But those who brazenly violate the Lord's will, whether native-born Israelites or foreigners, have blasphemed the Lord, and they must be cut off from the community, since they have treated the Lord's word with contempt and deliberate disobeyed his command. Then they must be completely cut off and suffer the punishment from their guilt. Penalty from breaking the Sabbath. One day, while the people of Israel were in the wilderness, they discovered a man gathering wood on Sabbath day. The people who found him doing this took him before Moses and Aaron and the rest of the community. They held him in custody because they didn't know what to do with him. Then the Lord said to Moses, "The man must be put to death. The whole community must stone him outside the camp." So the whole community took the man outside the camp and stoned him to death, just so the Lord had commanded Moses. Tassels on the clothing. Then the Lord said to Moses, "Give the following instructions to the people of Israel. Throughout the generations you must come to make tassels for the hems of your clothing and attach them with a blue cord. When you see the tassels, you remember and obey all the commands of the Lord instead of following your own desires and defiling yourself, as you are prone to do. The tassels will help you remember that you must obey your commands and the holy to your God. I am the Lord your God who brought you out of the land of Egypt, that I might be your God. I am the Lord your God." Korah's rebellion. One day, Korah, son of Izhar, descendant of Kohath, son of Levi, conspired with Dathan and Abiram, the son of Eliab, and On, son of Peleth, from the tribe of Reuben. They incited a rebellion against Moses along with 250 leaders of the community, all prominent members of the assembly. They united against Moses and Aaron, saying, "You have gone too far. The whole community of Israel has been set apart from the Lord, and he is with all of us. What right do you have to act as though you are greater than the rest of the Lord's people?" When Moses heard what they were saying, he fell down on the ground. Then he said to Korah and his followers, "Tomorrow morning the Lord will show us who belongs to him and who is holy. The Lord will allow only those whom he selects to enter his own presence. Korah, you and all your followers must prepare your incense burners, light fires in them tomorrow, and burn incense before the Lord. Then he will see whom the Lord chooses as a holy one. You Levites are the one who have gone too far." Then Moses spoke again to Korah. "Now listen, you Levites, do it Does it seem insignificant to you that the God of Israel has chosen you from all the community of Israel to be near him so that you can serve in the Lord's tabernacle and stand before the people to minister them? Korah, he has already given this special ministry to you and your fellow Levites. Are you now demanding the priesthood as well? The Lord is the one you and your followers are really revolting against. For who is Aaron and you are complaining about him? Then Moses summoned Dathan and Abiram, the son of Eliab, and they replied, We refuse to come before you. Isn't it enough that you brought us out to Egypt as a land flowing with milk and honey to kill us here in this wilderness, and then you now treat us like your subjects? What more, you haven't brought us into another land flowing with milk and honey. You haven't given us a new homeland with fields and vineyards, and you're trying to fool these men. We will not come. Then Moses became very angry and said to the Lord, Do not accept this grain offering. I have not taken so much as a donkey from them, and I have never hurt a single one of them. And Moses said to Korah, You and all your followers must come here tomorrow and present yourselves before the Lord. Aaron will also be here. You and each of your 250 followers must prepare an incense burner and put incense on it, so you can all present them before the Lord. Aaron will bring his incense burner. So each of these men prepared an incense burner, lit the fire, and placed incense on it, and they stood at the entrance of the tabernacle with Moses and Aaron. Meanwhile, Korah had stirred up the entire community against Moses and Aaron, and they all gathered at the tabernacle entrance. Then the glorious presence of the Lord appeared to the whole community, and the Lord said to Moses and Aaron, Get away from all of these people, so that I may instantly destroy them. But Moses and Aaron fell face down on the ground. O God, they pleaded, You are the God who gives breath to all creatures. Must you be angry with the people when only one man sins? And the Lord said to Moses, Then tell all the people to get away from the tents of Korah, Dathan, and Abiram. So Moses got up and rushed out to the tents of Dathan and Abiram, followed by the elders of Israel. Quickly he told these people, Get away from the tents of the wicked men and do not touch anything that belongs to them. If you do, you will be destroyed for their sins. So all the people stood back from the tents of the Korah, Dathan, and Abiram, and Dathan and Abiram came out and stood at the entrance of their tents, together with the wives and children and the little ones. And Moses said, This is how you will know the Lord has sent me to do all these things that I have done. For I have not done them on my own. If these men die a natural death, or if anything unusual happens, then the Lord has not sent me. But if the Lord does something entirely new, and the ground opens its mouth and swallows them and all their belongings, and they go down alive in their grave, then you will know that these men have shown contempt for the Lord. He has hardly finished speaking the words when the ground suddenly split open beneath them. The earth opened its mouth and swallowed the men along with their households and all their followers who were standing with them and everything they owned. So they were down alive in the grave along with their belongings. The earth closed over them, and they all vanished from among the people of Israel. All the people around them fled where they had heard the screams. The earth will swallow us too, they cried. The fire blazed forth from the Lord and burned up 250 men who were offering incense. And the Lord said to Moses, Tell Eleazar and the son of Aaron the priest to put the incense burner from the fire, for they are holy. Also tell them to scatter the burning coal. Take the incense burners of these men who have sinned at the cost of their lives, and hammer the metal into a thin sheet to overlay the altar. Since these burners were used in the Lord's presence, they have become holy. Let them serve as a warning to the people of Israel. So Eleazar the priest collected the 250 bronze incense burners that have been used by the men who died at the fire, and the bronze was hammered into a thin sheet to overlay the altar. This would warn the Israelites that no unauthorized person, no one who has ever descended of Aaron, should enter the Lord's presence to burn incense. If anyone did, the same thing would happen to them as the Lord had happened to Korah and his followers. So the Lord's instructions to Moses were carried out. But the very next morning, the whole community of Israel began muttering against Moses and Aaron, saying, You have killed the Lord's people. As the community gathered to protest against Moses and Aaron, they took towards the tabernacle and saw that the cloud had covered it, and the glorious presence of the Lord had appeared. Moses and Aaron came and stood in front of the tabernacle, and the Lord said to Moses, Get away from all these people so I can instantly destroy them. But Moses and Aaron fell face down on the ground, and Moses said to Aaron, Quick, take an incense burner and place burning coals on the altar, lay incense on it, and carry it out among the people to purify them and make them right with the Lord. The Lord's anger is blazing against them. The plague has already begun. Aaron did as Moses had told him and ran out among the people. The plague had already begun striking down on the people, but Aaron burned the incense and purified the people. He stood between the dead and the living, and the plague stopped. But 14,700 people died in the plague, in addition to those who had died in the affair involving Korah. Then, because the plague had stopped, Aaron returned to Moses at the entrance of the tabernacle, the budding at Aaron's staff. Then the Lord said to Moses, "Tell the people of Israel to bring you 12 wooden staffs, one from each of Israel's ancestral tribe, and inscribe each leader's name on his staff. Inscribe Aaron's name on the staff of the tribe of Levi. There must be one staff for each leader of the ancestral tribe. Place these staffs in the tabernacle in front of the ark containing the tablets of the covenant where I met with you. Buds will sprout on the staff belonging to the man I choose. Then I'll finally put an end to the people murmuring and complaining against you." So Moses gave the instructions to the people of Israel, and each of the 12 tribe leaders, including Aaron, brought Moses a staff. Moses placed the staff in the Lord's presence in the tabernacle of the covenant. Then when he went into the tabernacle of the covenant the next day, he found that Aaron's staff, representing the tribe of Levi, had budded, had blossomed, and produced ripe almonds. When Moses brought all the staff out from the Lord's presence, he showed them to the people. Each man claimed his own staff, and the Lord said to Moses, "Place Aaron's staff permanently before the Ark of Covenant to serve as a warning to the rebels. This should be an end to their complaints against me and prevent any further deaths." So Moses did as the Lord had commanded him. Then the people of Israel said to Moses, "Look, we are doomed, we are dead, we are ruined. Everyone who has ever come close to the tabernacle of the Lord dies. Are we all doomed to die?" Okay. Duties of the priests and the Levites. Then the Lord said to Aaron, "You and your sons and your relatives and your tribes of Levi will be held responsible for any offenses related to the sanctuary, but you and your sons alone will be held responsible for violations connected with the priesthood. Bring your relatives of the tribe of Levi, your ancestral tribe, to assist you and your sons as you perform the sacred duties in front of the tabernacle of the covenant. But as the Levites go about all their assigned duties at the tabernacle, they must go carefully not to go near any of the sacred objects of the altar. If they do, both you and them will die. The Levites must join you in fulfilling their responsibilities, for they care and maintain the tabernacle, but no unauthorized person may assist you. You and yourself must perform the sacred duties inside the sanctuary and the altar. If you follow these instructions, the Lord's anger will never again blaze against the people of Israel. I myself have chosen you fellow Levites among the Israelites to be as special assistants. They are a gift to you, dedicated to the Lord for service in the tabernacle, but you and your sons, the priests, must personally handle all the priestly rituals associated with the altar, and with everything behind the inner curtain. I am giving you the priesthood as your special privilege of service. Any unauthorized person who comes too near the sanctuary will be put to death."